bar at the end of Saturday, and yeah, even though I got started a little bit later, it's been a biggie. Well, probably particularly because I didn't sleep that well anyway on rolly old Double Island Point. But anyway, that's just what you got to do. So yeah, tracked across nicely across Wide Bay, about 10 nautical miles to the entrance of the Wide Bay Bar. Yeah, charging along quite nicely. Yeah, 5 to 6 knots, so I was quite happy with that. Bit of chop, but yeah, comfortable enough. Wide Bay Bar was interesting, following sort of virtual markers on the digital chart, and yeah, just following a convoluted route in to avoid the swells and breaks and that sort of thing, because they keep changing, the sand keeps moving, so every time you go across there you got to ring them up and they'll send you some different coordinates. I don't know how often they change them, but obviously often enough. So yeah, that was interesting coming in there, bit of chop, bit of roll, but not too bad. And then just, yeah, cruising through the Great Sandy Strait here to Gary's Anchorage. Yeah, it was a very pleasant day. Once again, the waterway just amazes me. It's a lot bigger than I anticipated. If you look at the maps, it just looks like a narrow little creek, but it is very much not that. So, in fact, I'm in a side creek now, basically, or a side waterway, or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, this is what happened today. Good morning from Wide Bay. Yeah, just up the road, water from the Gary. Yeah, okay, so that's kind of telling you what kind of a night I had. Yeah, it's been very rolly overnight, so I'm not sure I got a lot of sleep. Great backdrop here though. All the way down there. Yeah. Okay, so here's looking the other way, and yeah, the sun's up, so I'm just going to bide my time here for a little while, because I can't get to Wide Bay Bar too early because of the tide. If the tide's wrong, you're just waiting outside, and that would be even more uncomfortable. So high tide, 2:50, but yeah, you can get there like a couple of hours before that. Just amazing looking at all these different rock formations, and you know, the different colours and all the erosion that's going on. You can see the little the piles of finer stuff has all sort of run down and started forming piles there. This one intrigues me, sort of like the gate to somewhere. But yeah, you can see how the trees are hanging on. In some cases they've actually held it together basically, so it hasn't slipped away. Amazing. Well, here we leave another beautiful spot behind. Beautiful for everything except sleeping, so yeah, perhaps better accommodations tonight in protected areas. Anyway, on we go to Wide Bay Bar. Yeah, you can see there's a few 4 yachts ahead of me, so they got away a bit quicker than I did. I think they're catamarans too though, so probably a little bit more forgiving when the water's not so deep. Just going along nicely, steadily at about 5 knots, 5 and a bit. Still got those other yachts in front of me. I'm catching one of them, I think, because it's only doing about 4 knots for some other reason. Yeah, it's just steady, easterly at the moment, mostly sunny. Stand still for a minute. Just looking around if I can stand still for a minute. You can see the land goes away but comes back towards us as we go further up the coast, where the big entrance is. Yeah, I'm not sure if you're going to get this on the video, but the water is just an amazing deep sort of indigo almost colour. Yeah, quite different. So it's about 30 odd metres deep, so I don't think it matters what's on the bottom. Back on Double Island Point. and along the cliffs where we got rocked and rolled all night long. Okay, so getting close to the entrance and reporting point. I've got to call them up basically just to see how things are going in the channel. Can't see it probably, but there's 2 yachts are ahead of me who are now tracking along, so they seem to be doing alright. Got my whales there. There you go. Lovely. Virtual markers at the moment. They're on the map, but they're not here. And nor will the waypoints I got to go through be here either. Unless I get thrown out of the boat first. Okay, so we're coming up on the first checkpoint, which was just a point in the ocean sent to me. See how the water's now a beautiful turquoise colour, so obviously a nice sandy bottom. Which you'd expect from the biggest sand island in the world, wouldn't you? Miles around that way, so this is why everybody takes the Great Sandy Strait. Yeah, I can sort of see why we take the long way around. That's back where we came from. And other traffic going in. Getting to the next waypoint shortly. Yeah, the sails are a mess. I wasn't even going to stand up and fix that when I was out in that rolling mess. Looks like more wash in shore flops as well, so yeah, coming up on checkpoint 2 and wending our way into the channel. That is the beginning of the Great Sandy Strait. Yeah, you can see a bit of wild water there closer to the shore. We're going around that. I've now got somebody I can follow, but yeah, no, I don't take that as my guarantee for sure. Looking back, Double Island Point, and we've actually got a bit closer again now, but yeah, it was about 10 nautical miles across, so it was a decent little sail. Okay, so before it disappears, that's where we were this morning, Double Island Point, and this is the southern shore of the entrance. It's like a car ferry over there. And this is actually the bottom of Kagari or Fraser Island, not those cliffs as I said yesterday. So before you send all your emails in, I stand corrected. So Kagari, Fraser Island, very popular for 4-wheel driving on the beach. Also the home of dingoes and various other wildlife, but the dingoes particularly are a thing here. Yes, you need to watch out for them in certain areas. Basically, people have been cornered by them. Australia's wolf, right? And here we're going up the Sandy Strait. And yeah, look, it's just me probably, but it always amazes me when you get to the actual place, even when you've been looking at the maps and Google Earth and la-di-da-di-da, how much bigger this is than it looks if you're not here. You can probably stop the video now if you like. No. Yeah, it's just that I envisage some narrow little channel here that you know, you'd be hemmed in and stuff. I'm actually motor sailing at the moment because there isn't a lot of wind, but it comes every now and then, and it just gives me that extra bit of extra knot or two on top of what the engine's doing and the incoming tide. But I'll be turning it off soon. Oh, sorry, taking down the sails because I will be doing a right turn and going towards a place called Gary's Beach, which I've had recommended. So quite a sultry day. Quite funny actually, because when the sun comes out, it seemed like only a few days ago I'd be sitting in it. Now I'm sitting in the shade. Love it. It's a view I don't get very often. Obviously don't want to stand here in the middle of the ocean. But Just chugging along nicely up the channel. Yes, the ducky's deflated. Haven't used it for a few days, so yeah, it does have a slow leak. Looking down the main channel of the Great Sandy Strait. Back to Fraser, Kagari, and I'm going up there amongst all that stuff somewhere. It's sort of one of those things that doesn't resolve until you get closer to it. So as you can see, it's very wild along here. Just shoreline of mangroves and beaches and yeah, unspoiled. It is a park, obviously. Well, not obviously, it is. Miles of mangroves, and then for no good reason you see a white sandy beach. Nice. Although, I believe they have crocodiles here, so yeah. I guess he's going to beat me to the Anchorage. Well, coming up to my street, I think. Nice little display there with the sun. Yeah, I'm going to turn right up this arm and find Gary's Anchorage. I'm assuming he's not using it. Or maybe he's got a double anchorage. Anyway, we'll see soon enough. We're now tracking around the mark. And we're going to stay on the left-hand side of these two guys to keep us in the channel. 2.8 meters, it's good. Well, we're not long off of high tide, to be honest. In fact, I'm now going against the outgoing tide, but you can't have everything. I'm seeing a few more boats up there, so maybe that's Gary's Anchorage. Anyway, partay. Okay, well, it looks like there's a few people here at Gary's Anchorage. This guy's probably a little bit big to get in there, maybe. Spot, any spot. It's so hard to decide. Nothing too close to the shore, mind you. I don't like those legless creatures getting about. Look at the sun poking its head out now. Beautiful. Look at that. Well, it's certainly peaceful here. Nice spot. Very quiet. That's why I'm whispering. Well, not really, but anyway. Yeah. Sort of surreal in a way. And look at that. That's alright, isn't it? Thank you for watching another Fast Forward to Queensland video. As always, don't forget to like, comment on YouTube and subscribe to Dawn Radar.